Hey, what's up? Adam Lobo here from Adam Lobo TV. Yup, in this video, I'll be giving you the unboxing and my first impressions of all of the iPhone 13 series to help you make a purchase decision on which exact iPhone 13 that you should totally look into. And stay till the end of this video as I'll be giving you the control on which exact iPhone 13 series that you would like for me to go deeper on. But just before that, let's go through the unboxing process of all of the iPhone 13 series. Alright, let's first start with the iPhone 13 mini. Now the build quality is similar to what you expect from the iPhone 12 mini, which was one of my favorites last year too. And while I've always preferred a bigger size smartphone, there is quite a huge following of this mini variant of the iPhone. Some very huge content creators like Peter McKinnon swears by using this daily. And this is because of how the mini feels really nice in the hands. And although the finish is on a glossier side, because of this form factor, you'll have that sort of confidence of holding the phone without having the anxiety of dropping the phone, which is always a great feeling. Then looking at the iPhone 13, the form factor is bigger as it has the same size of the iPhone 12, where the iPhone 12 was the smartphone that I've been using for almost a year right now. So this felt very much at home for me. And this would be very applicable if you're one of those who does not like a huge phone, as this exact size and form factor would be perfect as it has the perfect balance of size and easy usability. Then the overall design of these two phones is similar to the previous iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12, but there is a difference on the camera arrays where it is now placed on a diagonal position instead of up and down of each. And here's where there were some online memes about, ooh, Apple had no idea what to change, so they just changed this. Well, the reason why it is switched this way, it is not for the sake of just changing the camera array's design. It is actually to make way for the optical image stabilization on the main lens, and it also has a larger aperture for better capture of light, especially during low light, and both of these lenses can record up to 4K 60 frames per second. So for those of you tech trolls who's talking about, oh, there's not much of a design change and this was changed for the sake of changing, calm down guys. Now speaking of the cameras, both of the iPhone 13 mini and the iPhone 13 has the same dual camera systems, which is a 12 megapixel f1.6 26mm wide lens with OIS as mentioned earlier, and a 12 megapixel f2.4 aperture 13mm ultra wide lens. So yeah, stay tuned for my full video review to test these two camera arrays out. Next, looking at the displays, there is a little difference in terms of the notch, where it is smaller and thinner, and there's also a 28% increase for the max outdoor brightness with the Super Retina XDR OLED displays. Then when it comes to the size of the screen, obviously the iPhone 13 comes with a larger 6.1 inch and the iPhone 13 mini has a smaller 5.4 inch display. And also worth mentioning is the fact that there is a huge improvement on the overall battery, as Apple has redesigned the interior of the phone to fit in a bigger battery, which apparently has 1.5 batteries more than the mini, which is nice to know since the iPhone 12 mini wasn't really strong on the battery department, and there is about 2.5 hours more on the battery life for the iPhone 13. So yes, I'm eager to find out how these two phones performs individually when I test it daily and find out how much of a screen on time that I get, since the size of the battery is not only the biggest factor of really getting the best screen on time. Now, like the previous generation iPhones, there's no compromises on the chipset, as they have always remained the same across all of their flagship releases, where all the iPhone 13 lineups has the new A15 Bionic chipset and is also shipped with the new iOS 15, which I recently did a video with my buddy T-Burn about what we love about the iOS 15 and also how it could benefit if you're just making a switch to the iPhone ecosystem. But of course, I will still dive in deeper on my daily usage and revert back in my full video review of this two iPhone 13 series. And speaking of software, due to the hardware of the cameras being upgraded, Apple has introduced this new cinematic video mode, which you can actually create a great shallow depth of field and perform high-level autofocus tracking and even focus racking to focus between one subject to another. And that is something which I definitely would like to test a bit more to find out, because that is something where only pro mirrorless and cinema cameras can usually do very well, and it seems like it could do very well also on the iPhone 13 series. And it's nice that Apple did not compromise to make it not available on the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 13 mini, as some smartphone companies tend to always compromise on their so-called lower tier variants, and that was not the case over here. Alright, speaking of the iPhone 13 Pro next, I'm going to keep things very simple on what are the difference between the Pro and the non-Pro variant, as this could be beneficial for you if you are like me who just ventured into the Pro series of the iPhone lineup. Firstly, there is a change of the whole rear camera array, so it's not just adding another lens, where this Pro variant, besides having a bigger camera bump, the aperture value has vastly improved. While all of the cameras are 12 megapixel sensors, the aperture of the main lens is at f1.5 at the same 26mm wide focal length. The ultra-wide is a better f1.8 aperture with the same 13mm focal length. And unique to the Pro variant, this ultra-wide lens can actually switch to the macro mode, magnifying subjects with a minimum focus distance of just 2 centimeters. And yes, there's also the additional telephoto camera, which is an added 12 megapixel f2.8 at a nice 77mm focal length, which also has OIS and up to 3 times optical zoom, and finally the 3D LiDAR depth sensor. And the second reason why you should consider going with the Pro model, because that is quite a hell of an upgrade, where other than keeping the consistent notch size, the biggest change would be the 120Hz ProMotion adaptive display that adjusts between 10Hz to 120Hz. And trust me that this is a huge plus when it comes to the screen when you're really having the phone in front of you when testing out the 120Hz refresh rate. And third of all is a feature that is coming really soon, which I can't wait to try on this iPhone Pro models, which is Apple's ProRes recording. Now, while the cinematic mode is available for all of the iPhone 13 models, this ProRes recording is unique to the iPhone Pro models, which is this Pro and also the Max series. And this ProRes video file format is such an amazing video codec that I use for all of my YouTube videos, including this footage and all the B-rolls that you're watching right now. And trust me, compared to the typical H.264 files that you get when you shoot on most mirrorless cameras or even on your regular mode, the amount of dynamic range that you get on ProRes is way better in quality without compromising the overall performance when it comes to editing this video and also during playback on your NLE. So the idea of having this recording capabilities on the iPhone is still very mind-blowing to me, but keep in mind that this ProRes recording is only available for the storage option of 256GB onwards due to the file size produced from the video footage. And the fifth difference or a reason is the fact that the Pro variant has a matte finish instead of the glossy ones that you find on the non-Pro and the mini variant as well. Then finally is the fact that the Pro variant has a 5-core GPU, which is currently the best performing GPU compared to any smartphones out right now. So yes, this means that this is going to be a very good gaming beast. Yes, the final question that you might be wondering is that why or when should you choose the iPhone 13 Pro Max then? Firstly, if you want a bigger screen, of course, as the iPhone 13 Pro Max comes with a bigger 6.7 inch, hence giving you a higher resolution of 1284 by 2778 pixels. And while this may not seem like a big deal, but if you're the kind of person who appreciates a nice and a big screen real estate, you will surely love the screen on the phone. Then secondly is the finish and the build quality. Yes, besides the really sexy looking white color and silver finish on the smartphone that I absolutely love, the stainless steel finish at the sides just screams premium. And while some may say that the phone may be heavy, well, this does come down to whether or not you're a user of a big screen phone, as usually bigger screen phones tend to be on the heavier side. And based on my first impressions holding it finally, because of the matte finish at the back. It makes a whole lot of difference just by holding the phone. So ask yourself, are you used to a larger screen phone? Do you prefer to watch lots of movies and play games on a phone more? Then you should totally consider the Max as your preferred choice. Now this is also because of the fact that it has more battery, and that would be the third reason to get yourself the iPhone 13 Pro Max instead. Now ever since the introduction of the Max series of the iPhones, one of the biggest advantages that it had over the other siblings is actually the battery performance. And I found it very appealing, as one would think that a bigger screen would take more battery life. But as mentioned, that the software optimization for Apple's Bionic chipset has always been second to none. But yes, as usual, I'll be testing the battery life when I go into my full video review when it comes to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Alright guys, there you have it, my unboxing and my first impressions of all of the iPhone 13 series. And if you've been wondering, or if you know anyone who would like to know what are the main differences between all of this brand new iPhone 13 series and which one to get, well, do share this video to them as well. Now as mentioned earlier, instead of me choosing which phone that I should do an in-depth review first, I would like to know which one that you would like for me to do an in-depth review first, instead of me making that decision. So do let me know at the comment section below and ask away if you have any questions to ask about this iPhone 13 series. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. My name is Adam Lobo and I'll see you in my next video.